Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we shall be looking at how to create a virtual machine on Google Cloud. So let's jump right into it. So I'm going to open my Google Cloud console in an incognito tab or window. Username is going to autofill, so let's grab the password. Okay, so in this lab we're going to be creating a VM with the cloud console. Then we shall also do the same thing using a gcloud command line, and then we'll deploy a web server and then connect it to a VM. So yeah, if you need to know how to use familiarity with Linux text editors like Nano or Vim would be helpful. So let's get into it. We're going to do some setup for our environment so we can check the current active accounts using gcloud auth list, and we can also check our project ID using gcloud config list project. So let's do that. So let's activate Cloud Shell. So we see our current active accounts. So we can also check our project ID. So here's our project ID. So let's proceed. So we'll set our project region using this command, gcloud config set compute /region US central 1. So I'll just copy that. Okay, that was updated. Let's create a variable for our region. And also let's create a variable for our zone. We can check if our variables are set by echoing. So let's echo region that is set, and let's echo zone as well. And that is set. Awesome. So let's proceed to create a new instance from the Cloud Console. So here are the parameters we're going to be using. So I'm going to click on my navigation menu, compute engine, virtual instances. So our region is US Central 1, zone US Central 1C, machine type, that's a series E2, and machine type 2 virtual CPU, boot disk 10 GB balanced persistent disk, and we're using a Debian Linux 11 image. And for firewall, we're going to allow HTTP traffic. So let's proceed with that. We can let's create our virtual instance. We can use this button or this one down here. So let's see. Okay, name for our instance name, gclab. We have to use the provided parameters here for our progress to be registered. So gclab, US Central 1, US Central 1C. Yeah, so that is set already, but if it's not, then you go ahead and select what is required. In a realistic scenario, you would select a region and zone where your users are closest to. So let's check the machine configuration. We have an E2 series and E2 medium, 4 GB of RAM. That is correct, like specified here. And let's check the boot disk, 10 GB, Debian Linux 11. So that's correct, but we can change that here if needed. But in this lab, that is what is required. So let's proceed. We need to allow HTTP traffic, and we're set. So we can, let's go ahead and create. But if you intend to use maybe Terraform or command line, you can see the equivalent code here for that. So yeah, this comes in handy if you're doing some automations. So let's give it a second to load. Yeah, there we go, equivalent command line code. And yeah, equivalent rests code. And the equivalent Terraform code. So yeah, let's proceed to create our VM. So the next step, we're going to connect to this VM using SSH. So let's give it a few seconds for this VM to start running, then we can SSH. So after connecting to our VM, then we'll proceed to install our NGINX web server. Okay, so you can see the status of our VM. It's running already, so we can SSH. Okay, so our connection So the VM is being established, and yeah, we're done. So right now we're in our VM that we created. Here's the name, GCE Lab. So let's go ahead and install our NGINX web server. Let's update our OS first using sudo apt-get update. Sudo apt-get update. So that will update all our packages in our OS. And let's install nginx using this command, sudo apt-get install -y nginx. Sudo apt-get install install -y nginx. Okay, we're done. Let's verify if nginx is running using this command, ps auwx pipe grep nginx. So what this command does, it's process status. It's going to check for processes which are currently running. It's going to give that output. That's the pipe command. So it's going to take that output and pass it as an input to our grep command, which is just like a search or filter command. So we're going to be filtering out all nginx processes from our output. So let's check that out. And there we go. We have as you can see, all processes here have nginx in them. So our filter worked fine. And yeah, let's continue. nginx is running. Okay, so we can check out the default web page that comes with nginx from a default installation by checking out our external IP address for the VM. So let's check that out. Here's the external IP address, so I'm just going to click on that, hide this. Continue to site. There we go. Welcome to nginx. Okay, so let's check our progress. We see here 50 on 100. That means our progress has been restarted already, but let's just click on that button to confirm. All right, assessment completed. So let's go to the next task, which is creating a new instance with gcloud. So we did with the cloud console already, so now let's do it with the gcloud command. So gcloud is pre-installed in the Google Cloud Shell, so take note of that. So yes, so in the Cloud Shell, use gcloud to create a new VM instance from the command line. So I'm just going to copy this command. Cloud Shell. So what this command does is it's going to create an instance for us called GCE Lab 2, machine type E2 medium, and the zone would be the variable $zone, which we set earlier. Remember, at the beginning of the lab, we set a variable called zone, and we set it equals to US Central 1C. So yeah, that's what this command is going to do. So let's get it. Okay, we're done. So our instance has been created and the status is running. So we can see the external IP address and the internal IP address from here. So yeah, let's check our progress. So the new instance has these default values: Debian 11 for the image and E2 medium for the machine type. Okay, so we can see some default commands for some default parameters for our gcloud compute instances create command by using this with the flag dash dash help. So let's check that out. So here we see yeah, gcloud compute instances creates compute engine virtual machine instances. So these are the various parameters or flags we can pass to that command to be able to customize it to our preference. So okay, let's exit from here. Control C. Okay, so let's SSH into our new VM and see if everything is okay. So let's do that. So we'll do that using the command gcloud compute. Oh, sorry, I have a different command. We need the SSH command, this one, gcloud compute SSH GCE lab 2. We're going to hit Y to continue. So a public / private RSA key pair needs to be generated. So we need to enter a passphrase here, but for the purposes of this lab, I'm just going to hit on enter to have an empty password. So a key pair is done generating, and Cloud Shell would automatically handle all the keys required to SSH into this VM. So yeah, we're in that VM right now. As you can see, the name here, GCE Lab 2. So yes, we just successfully installed we just successfully created our second VM using gcloud command. So let's check. Let's see if we can I'm going to refresh here so we can see our second VM from here as well in the cloud console. There it is. I'm just going to copy the internal IP address for our VM number 1, and since I'm in VM number 2, okay, this is VM number 1, so let me go to VM number 2. Which is here. I'm going to ping. I'm going to ping VM number 1. Okay, yeah. So we sent 3 packets to VM number 1, and we got a response. So yeah, using the internal IP address. Okay, I think we're done with this lab. We can exit the SSH session using the exit command. So let's exit, and we're done. So let's test our knowledge. Through which of the following ways can you create a VM instance in Compute Engine? gcloud command line 2 definitely, and the cloud console. Submit. Our score progress is already updated, so we're good to go. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. If you find this kind of content useful, make sure you subscribe and hit a like on the video, and see you guys on the next one. Bye.